From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
Good morning. I am so impressed with how you guys came into this room and were so quiet and such good listeners, so thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Oh, and thank you for that. So I'm Leanne Potter. I direct educational outreach here at the Library of Congress, and I have 5 things I get to say this morning. Do you guys ever, when you have to remember 5 things, do you have any special ways of remembering? What do you do? Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, if I could sing, I would do it that way. But no, you don't want that. So what I tend to do is I tend to put initials next to what I... That was bad. I won't do that again. I put initials next to what I have to say. Do you see those letters up there? Read my letters. Just at the very top.
T-W-T-H-W.
Yeah, so this is what I have to do. T-W-T-H-W. T. First thing I want to do is T. I want to thank my colleagues Karen and Monica and Sasha for making this morning happen. I also want to thank my friends who work in our multimedia division for filming this, and Sean, who's taking pictures this morning. So that's my first T. Thank you. Second letter, you remember what it was?
W.
W. Any idea what word starts with W?
What?
What's good? But no, this one's better. This is welcome. So I get to welcome. Who do you suppose I want to welcome? Yeah, I want to welcome you guys, so I'm going to welcome the 3rd and 4th graders from Plummer Elementary School in Washington, D.C., and their teachers and their chaperones. How about that? So you've been welcomed, and it's on film. Yeah. All right, do you remember what my next letter was? Yeah, you guys are good. Okay, so I had a thank you, I had a welcome. What do you suppose the T's for? Yeah, another thank you. I thank a lot. Yeah. So who else should I be thanking? That's right. I'm going to thank our friends at Everybody Wins DC. They are responsible for getting you guys here today and making sure that you're going to go home with a copy of the book you're going to hear about today. Okay? So, yeah, that deserves a clap. That was good. All right, so that was T and W and T. And you remember what the next one was? H, yep, H. Any idea what starts with H? What's a really good what's a very pleasant word that starts with H? When you have a birthday, what does somebody say? Happy, that's right. So it's sort of like a happy birthday, but it's a happy anniversary. So it's happy anniversary. 25 years that an organization that is also an organization I want to thank this morning. So I'm saying happy anniversary to our friends responsible for the book award that is being celebrated today with our author. The organization is the Children's African Book Awards Program. Their initials are CABA, C-A-B-A. So we are happy anniversary-ing them this morning. Is that a word? That's not really a word. Let's just say we are wishing them a happy anniversary and we're welcoming them. Awesome, and you've got bookmarks for everybody. Fabulous. Awesome. The Museum of African Art on Saturday, and everybody's going to get a bookmark to take home with this year's award winners. Okay, do you remember what my last letter was? It was another W. You are good. You're good at this. See, you're going to remember things like I remember things. I like that. So my next letter was W, and this time it's our welcome. And it's our welcome to our very special author. And guess what letter her last name starts with? W. So it was really convenient. So Emily, come on up here. I'm going to tell you guys about Emily, our author.
Hi, guys.
Got close, but it was good. All right. So this is the book that Emily's going to talk about, but I want to tell you a little bit about Emily first. You know how you guys are in 3rd and 4th grade? Okay, so if Emily still goes to school, okay? Emily's been going to school for a long time because she really likes school. And if we were to say what grade Emily was in, Emily's like in grade 22. Seriously. So she finished high school, she went to college, she studied art history, she studied architecture, and now she must like the letter A because she's studying she's an author. God, you guys are good. I didn't even think of that. She's an author, but she is studying archaeology. She is studying anthropology and archaeology. And she's going to tell you about that. She's also been very interested in a country in West Africa called Ghana. Do any of you know where Ghana is located? I want to show you, I taught geography for a long time, and I want to show you a really cool trick. So I want you guys to take your left hand and sort of drop it down and try to bend your knuckle at your thumb. That's it. You got it. Okay. So when you do that to your hand sort of looks like the continent of Africa. Okay? Isn't that cool? So if you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, it sort of does. That's cool. My left hand sort of looks like Africa. And if you look right where your knuckle is, where you try to bend it, that's where Ghana's located. So the next time you look at a map of Africa, you'll know that Ghana is located right where your knuckle is if your hand were the continent of Africa. Does that work for you? Okay, I got a lot of weird ways to remember things. But anyway, so we're going to learn a little bit about Ghana in West Africa today, and we are so happy that you are here with us, and I'm going to hand my microphone over to you, and thank you, boys and girls, again, for being such good visitors to the Library of Congress this morning.
And I think I actually don't even need the microphone. I actually have a built-in microphone today. Exactly. So thank you so much for that generous introduction. Thank you so much to the Library of Congress for having me. Thank you to the Cabo Book Awards, Organizational Committee, and everyone else who helped make this happen. I really appreciate it. It's so wonderful to be here with all of you today. So in English, my name is Emily, but did you know that I also have a Ghanaian name? Yeah. So it begins with H. Can anyone guess? Close. I actually have a friend in Ghana whose name is Happy, but this is another name. This is an Arabic name. It's Habiba. Yes. Has anyone heard of that name before? No. So in Arabic, it means beloved, or someone who's very loving or caring. Okay? So, and then I also want to teach you another word in Hausa. So the community that I worked with and the students that I worked with in Ghana to create this book, they speak the language of Hausa. Has anyone ever heard of that before? No. Okay. I do speak it a little bit, and I wanted to start today by teaching you a word in Hausa that begins with S. Close, close. So it's Sanu. Okay, so I'll say it, and then you could repeat after me. Sanu. Sanu. Can anyone guess what that means? No. Close. It means it's a greeting. What's the first greeting you might say to somebody? Hello. Hello, exactly. Sanu. So when I say Sanu to you, you respond and you say Yowa Sanu. Yowa Sanu. Okay, so I'll say Sanu, and you say? Perfect. So now whenever you meet, if you get a chance to meet any of these students from Ghana, you can say, I'll say, Sanu, and you can say to them, Yoga Sanu. Wow, that's awesome. That is great. Okay, so my name is Emily, or Habiba, and I have I have gone to, I don't know, I'm in grade 22, something like that, and I have a background in architecture. And I'm a designer and an illustrator and a writer. And right now I'm in a program, it's a PhD program in anthropology. Does anyone know what anthropology is? No. So it's the study of cultures and humans and how we experience the world. So my job is to get to know how other people think and how they see the world. And so for me, writing and illustrating children's stories has been a really wonderful way to do that, because it's a way of understanding local issues and connecting with mostly students like you guys over in Ghana. So I've been doing this since 2002, and yeah, long time ago, and started working and writing and illustrating children's stories with students there, and then I just keep going back. I can't get enough. I love the kids, and I love drawing and writing with them, and so we've been putting together a number of workshops over the years, And one of the outcomes of the workshops was creating this book called Gizo-Gizo, which I want to talk to you about today. So Gizo-Gizo, you guys are going to get to know another word in Hausa. Do you know what that might mean?
Gizo.
What do you think Gizo-Gizo means?
Spider.
Yes, yes, exactly. So it means spider in the language of Hausa, okay? And so the origins of this story came out of me. So I was talking to a lot of adults, and I was trying to understand what the issues were about water. So how to collect water, how to store water, how to clean water in these communities. And I'll show you some pictures in a little bit. And I was like, but I want to know what the kids think. And so I went to a school, and I asked all of the kids, I said, what are some of the issues here? And one little boy raised his hand, and he said, my family hasn't had any clean water for over 2 weeks because a mining company up in the north had polluted all of the water all the way down to his village. So they had no clean water, and they had to walk for miles to be able to get clean water to drink. And then all of a sudden, another kid raised their hand, and they said, oh, the same thing here, my family too. We haven't had any clean water for so long. And then another child raised his hand and said the same thing. And then before I knew it, all of the kids were talking about this. And so we decided to write and illustrate a story to be able to tell the adults what was going on and to hopefully find a way to fix it. So the story is fictional, but based upon real issues and real local concerns that the kids had. So it's a way that the kids could kind of give voice to their concerns. So you guys can also think about, okay, like what are some things that I'm frustrated with or that I really love that might translate into some kind of story? Okay, so I'm going to read it in a little bit, but first I just want to show you some pictures of Ghana, okay? Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, so we know where Africa is. Yeah, I'm just going to point it out just in case. So again, the left hand.
It's right there.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're a little bit closer. Yep. So here's the upside down left hand again, right? And Ghana is right here. Okay? So it's the yellow country right here. So there's a big coastline. And where this story takes place, it's in a town called Cape Coast, Ghana, and it's right along the coast. So what might you think would be in a story if it's along the coast? Yep. Water. Okay, great. Yeah, so there might be water in the story, and you might be able to tell that too from the cover.
It might be spider webs.
There might be spider webs. Absolutely.
I think it will be water because Ghana is closest to the water.
Yeah.
I think it will be.
So here we go. Here.
Oh.
Oh, you know about fufu. I think Spider really likes fufu. We'll get to that. Okay, so this is a picture of Cape Coast from the tallest hill, looking down at the city, looking out across the ocean. And so you can see another big church there, and there's a big slave castle along the coast too. But you can see that these are some of the houses that the people live in. And here we're along the coast, right? So there are a lot of fishing boats.
Why are boats like that? It sails.
And then this, so the full name of the book is Gizo-Gizo, A Tale from the Zongo Lagoon. So this is actually the lagoon that they were writing about. It's pretty amazing, right? And so you can see it's pretty, what does that picture look like to you?
Dirty water.
Yeah, a little dirty.
And, recycle.
Yeah, so there's some bottles there at the bottom, and the water doesn't look particularly clean, right? So we're going to learn about that in the story as well. And then this is a photograph of a mine. So you can keep this in your mind as we read the story as well. So Gizo-Gizo ends up running a whole mine, a gold mine.
So you go under in a tunnel and dig out gold?
Some of them are in tunnels, and some of them are above ground. They're all different kinds of mines. And so this is the community that I work with, and it's called a Zongo community, and it's primarily Muslim. So you can see these are the houses that the students that I worked with on the book that they live in. And there's their mosque that they go to every Friday for prayer. And then water is also really important in their religion. So they wash and they pray 5 times a day, and they use these kettles. So they fill the kettles up with water, and then they wash. Here's a little girl drinking water. She helped on the book. This is another picture, so you can see that they have open sewers rather than pipes, okay? And then this, guess what this is?
Bathroom, a school?
Yes. Their school is outside. And they actually string up little tents, little canopies, and then they work under those canopies in the shade. So when we wrote and illustrated this book, right here. And this is us working on the book. Yeah, that's me. This is, yeah, been there many times. So that's me. This is my friend Catherine who helped on the book. This is one of the teachers. His name is Owl, who says hello to all of you today. And these are some of the students. These are the kids working on the story.
How old are the children?
So the children, it's a huge age range. Can you guess by looking at these photographs? 4, good. To what?
6 and 5.
6 and 5?
8.
8. So the oldest child was 16 who was working on the story. So it was wonderful because the younger children helped a lot with the illustrations, and then the older kids tended to enjoy the writing. And so we worked together and created this book collaboratively. So there's some of the students like to work individually. Some just like to put that's basically the equivalent of their clipboard, okay? Except they can write directly on it. So he happens to be balancing on his head. Some pictures of the students. Everyone's very focused. So one thing I want to do at the end of today's presentation is to give you guys the opportunity to also do a little bit of drawing and to help us think about a new story. Okay, so I want to stop with this one right now, and I want to read you the story. And then after I'm done reading, what I would like to do is a short art activity. So combining drawing and writing about a character, okay? So when I'm reading the story, you can think about a character that you might be interested in drawing and writing about that maybe Gizo-Gizo meets, okay? Yeah, so first though, I'd like to read the story. Okay. Gizo-Gizo, a tale from the Zongo Lagoon. Okay, here's your opportunity to learn a little more Hausa. You ready? So I'm going to say, so when I'm about to start a story, I say, Gatanan ku. And then whoever's listening to the story, they say, Tazo mujita. Saying, exactly, saying, we are all ears, we're listening closely, okay? So when I say Gatanan ku, you say Tazo mujita. Okay, ready? We'll try it. Okay, ready? Gatanan ku. I can't hear you. Gatanan ku. Perfect. Okay, Gizo-Gizo, a tale from the Zongo Lagoon. Not so very long ago, many animals lived in the Zongo Lagoon. Fish basked in the clear, clean waters, frogs sang in the tall green grasses, lizards scurried up and down the trunks of the leafy moringa trees. And down by the watery edge of the peaceful lagoon that flowed into the sea lived 3 best friends, crab, tortoise, and spider. A fisherman by trade, Crab was generous and hardworking. He spent most of his time at the bottom of the lagoon with his family, or hauling fish into his canoe. Tortoise was wise and very patient. Animals came to him for advice and to buy the medicines he made from the healing roots and leaves. Unlike the other two, Spider was lazy and selfish. When he wasn't lounging around in his favorite moringa tree overlooking the lagoon, he was mining for gold upstream and dreamt of being rich. Despite their differences, Crab, Tortoise, and Spider ate dinner together every day at high tide. Crab caught the fish, Tortoise blessed the kenke, and Spider ate greedily. One day, after dinner, instead of throwing his rubbish into the dustbin, Spider tossed his kenke leaves and plantain peels right into the lagoon. "A boki," Crab pleaded, using the Hausa name for friend. "You must respect the lagoon. It belongs to all of us." "Bah," Spider balked. "A little rubbish is no big deal. I own a mining business. Someday, when I am rich, I will buy this place. I can do whatever I want." Rainy season came, and Spider's bad habits grew worse. He tossed his used water sachets, empty mineral bottles, and old cans of milk right into the lagoon. The water turned green and soupy and no longer flowed into the sea. The tall grasses were filthy and smelly. The banks were muddy and bare. Piles of garbage were everywhere. "Gizo-Gizo," Crab begged. "You must respect the lagoon. It belongs to all of us." "Ha," Spider bragged. "My mining business is booming. A little rubbish is no big deal. Someday, when I am rich, I will buy this place. I can do whatever I want." Dry season came, and Spider's habits grew even worse. His huge new factory polluted the lagoon with chemicals, oil, and waste. The animals got sick. Fish groaned with empty stomachs. Frogs winced from sore throats. Lizards moaned from aching legs. They all went to Tortoise and asked for healing roots and leaves. There was very little left. Tortoise boiled the last of the bozobo flowers to settle the fish's upset stomachs. He pounded the last of the moringa leaves to relieve the lizard's aching legs. He mixed the last of his salt with clean water to soothe the frog's sore throats. Crab shook his head sadly and said, "This has gone on far too long. We must talk some sense into Spider's head." The next day, Crab and Tortoise invited Spider to dinner, his favorite meal of fried fish and kenke. Look, he wrote a letter. "Dear Gizo-Gizo, you are invited for fried fish and kenke on Saturday at high tide, Crab and Tortoise." Spider sat down at the table and ate greedily, without so much as a glance at his friends who didn't eat one bite. Little did Spider know that Crab had caught the fish from the polluted Zongo Lagoon and that the kenke was rotten. Soon, Spider grew very ill. His legs ached so badly he couldn't climb down from his moringa tree. He tried to call to Tortoise for help, but his throat was too sore. He moaned and groaned from his upset stomach. "Oh, what did I do?" Spider cried. "I have ruined our lagoon." Crab and Tortoise smiled. Perhaps Spider had learned his lesson. "Gizo-Gizo," said Crab, "there is only one thing to do. You must clean up the lagoon and never dump rubbish into it." Tortoise nodded wisely and added, "You must respect the lagoon. It belongs to all of us." When Spider finally felt better, he set to work busily cleaning the lagoon. He turned his mining business into a place that cleaned water. He collected rubbish from the high grasses and removed the piles of garbage from the bases of the moringa trees. After many, many days of hard work, fish basked in the clear, clean waters, frogs sang in the tall green grasses, lizards scurried up and down the trunks of the leafy moringa trees. Life was peaceful once again in the Zongo Lagoon. So crab, tortoise, and spider enjoyed a dinner of fried fish and kenke together at high tide. Crab caught the fish, tortoise blessed the meal, and spider made an announcement. "I have learned my lesson," said Spider to his old friends. "As my great-great-grandfather used to say, the lagoon's water is sacred. It belongs to no one and everyone at the same time. It takes only one day to destroy it and many, many days to restore it. We must keep it clean every single day." And then they end the story saying, "Kurunkus." Also in house, yeah, do you want to say it? Kurunkus. Kurunkus. Perfect. So that is the story. And I just want to say again that this was a collaborative effort. So that means that all of the students in Ghana worked with me to do all of these illustrations and all of the writing. So we put our heads together and created this story. Yeah. The students in Ghana, so one student might have drawn this house, and another student, for example, might have drawn this fish, and then I helped put it together and compose it on the page. And so all of the students, they can recognize the different pieces that they drew in the book. Isn't that neat? So that's a good transition, and I thought that we could take maybe 10 or 15 minutes thinking about, so there are three main elements of the story. Does anyone know what the three main elements are? Yes, okay, great. So in this particular story, the spider, the tortoise, and the crab are the main characters, right? So one element of a story is creating characters. Yep, you have another?
Main idea.
The main idea, right. Okay, the theme of the story, right? What the story is about. So this one is about water, and it's about mining and keeping a lagoon clean. It's about taking care of the water, exactly. So that's another piece of the story. So it's the action and the theme are interrelated. So we have character, we have action and theme, and then what is the third one?
Teamwork.
Teamwork, yes. In this story, this was a collaborative effort. We worked as a team to create this story. And so then the third one that I'm thinking of that is also important to the story is the place, right, in which it happens. So the setting, exactly. And so since we don't have too much time today, I thought we could focus on a character. So I thought it would be fun. I think we could pass the clipboards around. And if I could actually have one as a reference, that would be terrific. Thank you. Okay, so what we're thinking, when I was talking with students in Ghana this past summer, we thought it would be really interesting to create a new story about Gizo-Gizo. One where he goes on a trip, so he's going to go on a journey. And I thought it would be fun if we could think about characters that Gizo-Gizo might meet along his journey. Who has an idea of a character that Gizo-Gizo might meet along a journey? Another spider, okay. Who else might he meet on his journey?
A crab.
Where?
Another crab.
Another crab.
A bird.
A bird, okay.
A fish.
A fish, great.
A human. A turtle.
A wolf, okay.
A
So in
human.
addition to thinking either about an animal or a person, think about what kind of personality they might have. Are they a nice person? Are they a lazy person or animal? What kind of, are they stubborn? Are they clever? Are they wise? And what that might mean. So I would like you to write your name at the top. And then if you have any questions that you want to ask a student in Ghana, I left you a little space there. So if there's something that you want to share about your character or anything, any kind of question that you have about the story, I will do my best to get answers from you. So you can talk to the students in Ghana. And then in the center of the page, you could draw your character, okay? And I'm going to pass around some examples of characters that other students in Ghana have drawn. And then in these bubbles around the character that you draw, you can describe it using words, or if you'd rather just draw in these bubbles, you can do that too. So here it says, my character looks like, so you could just add some words that describe what your character looks like. My character likes to say, so maybe your character has a specific phrase he or she likes to say, like Sanu. Who knows? It could be in English or in Hausa or in another language. My character's personality, so you can describe that. My character thinks about, so what does your character dream about? What do they like to do? So you can fill these in however you like, and if you'd like to just draw in the center, that's fine too. I just want this to be a fun exercise, and then I want to take your drawings with me to Ghana and share them with kids there, and I'm hoping that maybe all together we can create a story. What do you think about that? Yeah, do you have a question?
Did you make that book? Did you wrote that book?
I did, with students in Ghana. It was teamwork. What do you think? Anyone else have any questions? So I'm going to just pass around so you can see. I'm going to kind of lay these out, actually. Not for you to copy, but just to get some ideas. These are some drawings that the kids have done. I don't know. What do you think it is? I think they made it up in their imagination. So it doesn't have to be a real animal either. It can be something you make up, anything you like. So these are just to give you some ideas. Yeah, sure, that would be great. If anyone wants to talk through a character idea, I'm happy to walk around and help. These are some personalities, so you can just, if they're helpful, you can think about them. Oh, you want to? Oh, I think someone else has the. I think Sasha's coming with. So this is a.
It said Jinkwaka.
Yeah. So this is in Hausa and this is in English. So this character feels anxious, and this is wise. Evil. Ooh. Just to give you some ideas. Do you have an idea? My character looks like a crab. Do not touch. Nice, that's great. Do you want to draw the crab? Do you have a name for your crab? Mm-hmm. Is it a female or a male crab? Okay. Dame? I like that. That's a beautiful name. You could even put that on there if you want to. Where does your character live?
She lives in New York.
Oh, cool. You want to add that? That's great. I love your crab. Beautiful. Oh, that's great. Cutie pie. My character has pink and blue hair, long hair. Oh, that's wonderful. What is your character's name and where do they live? I love this.
Personality?
Yeah, so what is Crab like? Is he nice? Is he mean? Is he clever? Is he shy? So sometimes these are helpful too. Oh look, so this one, jealous. Is he jealous? Maybe not. Nope.
Nice.
He's nice, yeah. So how is he nice? What does he like to do that makes him nice?
Don't get mad at me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So maybe he does things to help his friends. Everybody, I think we're going to wrap up. So, but before we turn them in, does anyone want to share their character? Let's do 3 shares. I think we have time for 3. So you could just tell us a little bit about your character.
My character is a cheetah caterpillar. And
Great.
he likes to say rich and king.
Wow, wonderful, fantastic. Anyone else?
My character is a unicorn and she wants to fly.
Great. Okay.
My character is a butterfly, and she is kind, and she wants to be more kind.
Wonderful. All right. Okay. Let's do 2 more.
My character is a girl, and she's smart, intelligent, she's beautiful, and she's warm-hearted inside.
Great. Okay. 1 more.
My character is about a little boy that's rich.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. So we'll collect the clipboards, and I'm going to make sure that all of the students in Ghana get to see these amazing characters that you created, and I think we should all stay in touch, and hopefully we can create a collaborative story together. So now I think I just wanted to open it up to if you all have any questions for me, or if you have questions for the kids, and I can write them down and ask them when I see them next. I'm going to be going back there next summer. You're done. Perfect. Thank you.
How many students are there?
That is a great question. So I have been doing this for many, many years, and I started in 2012, and we had about 30 students, and then it went up to about 45 in 2014, and last year we started a very large educational program with many kids in the capital city called Accra, and we had almost 100 students.
What's like your type of books? Like, does it have like a meant to it? Like for their characters to change at the kind of the middle and the edge of the story, or is there like different ways you make it?
Sure. Would you mind rephrasing it? Or so do the characters change throughout the story?
Like how their emotions, like how his emotions change when he thought he could rule it, but then he figures out that he needs to take care to make it a better place.
Exactly, exactly. So much about stories is about character development and characters changing, right? And learning a lesson or learning something about themselves. And so in this story, Gizo-Gizo changed throughout the course of the story, right? Exactly. What do they eat? That is a great question. So in Ghana, there are all kinds of food. I think I heard one student say before the name of a food called fufu. Does anyone know what fufu is?
Yes. Fufu is something that comes from Africa.
Yes, it's a food that comes from Africa. Does anyone know what fufu is? So you eat it, okay. So fufu, it's kind of like this big ball of, it almost looks like pizza dough, but it's made of something called cassava, which is like a yam, or like kind of like a potato, but dry. And then they mix it with something called plantain, which is kind of like a banana, and they pound it forever. And then it turns into a big ball of basically kind of dough, and then you eat it with soup. It's very delicious and very heavy.
Well, how my mom makes it, she doesn't pound it. She just like use something, she mixes it in the oven. She mixes it in the oven.
Oh, wow. I need to learn from your mom. That's great. So fufu is a very, very popular food, and if you speak to almost any Ghanaian, they will say that fufu is their favorite. Yes. Jollof rice is also very popular, which is a spicy rice with vegetables in it. Mm-hmm. Have a question?
What's the food that you mentioned in your book?
So the food that I mentioned in the book is called kenke, and it's fermented corn, and then they wrap it in a corn leaf, or in a palm leaf, And they often will sell them in huge piles along the side of the road, and you can just kind of peel it open and eat it. So they don't even use plastic bags or anything to keep, any kind of plastic to keep it safe. They just use palm leaves. Anyone else?
Are there any beaches in Ghana?
There are a lot of beaches. So she asked if there are any beaches in Ghana. And yes, there are a lot of really beautiful beaches. The shores are also quite rocky in a lot of areas, and the tide is very strong, so you need to be careful when you go swimming. I have only been swimming once in Ghana, but yes, there are gorgeous beaches. What are beaches? Who knows what a beach is? That wants to, so it's a sandy edge along a coastline.
Yeah, and then like all that water. Yeah, it's like a whole ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ocean with sand.
An ocean with sand, yep. So in Hausa, the word for beach is bakin teku, which means the mouth of the ocean. Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Yes. Beaches in Ghana the same as beaches in DC? Is the beaches the same as in Maryland?
The beaches are very similar. Yes, so the question was, are the beaches in Ghana similar to those in Maryland? Yes, I think they are. They're very similar. And they're both on the Atlantic Ocean. They kind of face each other. It would be a long ways to get from one to the other, but they're very similar.
Is the beaches more better? Is the beaches more colder than in Maryland?
Oh, is the water colder?
The water.
So the water is probably a little bit warmer than in Maryland, but it's because, so the weather is very, very tropical and very, very humid in Ghana.
Are the waves bigger there?
Wow, so many questions about the beaches. I think we all want to go swimming. You know, in some areas the waves are very, very big, and because it's so rocky, the waves hit the rocks and bounce off the rocks and go really high into the air. So it can also be a little bit dangerous. Mm-hmm.
Is Ghana tall?
Is
Ghana big?
Is Ghana big? So let's see. So I'm trying to think how. So in a car, if you were driving from the beach all the way up to the north of Ghana, it's probably going to take you about 20 hours. So it's almost like driving from here up to northern New Hampshire.
If you walk west,
One more question. Okay, we have time for one more question.
if you walk over there, how much hours is it?
Oh my gosh, we better start now. And I'm not sure we could walk there. I think we would need to build a boat first. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. So who remembers how to say hello in Hausa? So if I say Sanu, you say Yowa Sanu. So, and then in Hausa, to say, if I want to say thank you to all of you, I say Nagodi. Nagodi. So thank you so much, Nagodi. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at loc.gov.